Hey y'all, today's video is going to be all about the Xian Xian princess dolls. On occasion you might have seen them in the background of a couple of my videos, and I've seen you comment on them in the comments of those videos. So this video is going to be a comprehensive overview over every single Xian Xian princess doll that I own, but it's also going to be a comprehensive guide and sort of checklist. I'm going to be going through every single doll that brand has ever released. I'm going to mention the character name or like the face mold, face sculpt name. I'm going to mention, maybe touch upon the variants that exist out there. I hope that this video is going to be sort of like a starting point where you can maybe pick out the dolls that appeal to you the most. And from then on, you can move on and check out other content creators who've done unboxing of these dolls. I think there's Endorphins, Plastic Planet 21, Edmund's Collectible World, and there are a couple of doll content creators on Instagram like Dolls Struck, Pictures Love Barbie, and DD Cherry Darling, I think, who also do content on these dolls, so you can check those out as well to form an opinion and then make a purchase decision based on that. I hope that this video is at least gonna be as comprehensive as I can make it. I'm not claiming this to be a be-all and end-all on every single thing that Xian Xian has released so far. This might have a couple of errors or mistakes. If it does, please correct me in the comments down below. I would like this to be a place of conversation with people who have experiences with this brand, and they can share them with others who might be interested in the brand but have yet to make a purchase decision. I think I have examples of most, if not all, of the characters that this doll brand has released so far. So I'm gonna be going through chronological order in terms of catalog numbers that Xian Xian has assigned their releases. And then I'm gonna also talk to you about the different names these dolls have that are assigned to the different face sculpts that these dolls have. I'm gonna give you the examples that I have in my collection. So let's go. So let's start off by taking a look at the first set of dolls. These dolls are FR01, FR02, FR03, and they're the character of Coco, who's got the descriptor of being a fashionable sunshine. So these are the two Cocos that I have. This is FR02. This one is FR03. I believe it's a good time to start talking about variants now, because not only variants, also quality control in general. I've ordered these two. I've ordered the brunette FR03 in December of 2024, and I ordered her in January of last year. So by the time that I'm recording this video, if you order these dolls, you might as well get very different versions of them with different screenings and maybe less densely rooted hair, because I have a friend who I was able to sort of like convince them to get one of these dolls, and they ended up purchasing her, and they got one with a super wonky screening where one eye was basically printed onto her cheek, and they were super disappointed. So naturally it's justifiable that they were completely put off by this brand. I, on the other hand, had really good luck, so part of the reason why I'm such a big fan is probably down to having been very lucky in terms of the dolls that I got when I ended up purchasing them, because this Coco screening is my personal favorite. Her eyes are a bit more almond shaped, a bit more snatched, and she also has more densely rooted and much longer hair than the usual brunette Cocos that you might get that are very similar looking to the Isma doll. Now in terms of styling, I just put them in. And she's wearing an original Xian Xian princess dress, which is super cute. And the dress fits the supermodel body type of the Xian Xian princess dolls the best. And in terms of like shoes, you have to just trial and error. I was able to get like Barbie shoes on her, but most Barbie shoes won't fit them because they have much bigger feet. the more open-toed and the more squishier the shoe, the bigger the chances are that you're able to get them onto the Xian Xian Princess doll feet. And when it comes to styling the hair, like right out of the box, I mean, this isn't perfect, but it's, for me personally, I was not really super versed in styling hair. It's perfect enough, but it's a process. Like right out of the box, they just come out with a factory fresh rooted hair, and you end up have to like fiddle around to get the hair to look a certain way. But I do not use any kind of heat. I have nylon hair. Heat mostly irreparably damages nylon hair. I just use a spray bottle filled with water, and then I just brush the strands out separately, and then I just twirl them around my finger, and then I just put the hair into a hairnet and wait for a couple of days, up to a week, until I put out the hair from the hairnet, and then I'm lucky enough to have it look like this. So this was the first generation of Coco dolls, and the second generation that was released like a year after this one consists of 2 brunette Cocos with the catalog numbers FR23 and FR27. And those Cocos probably have a different screening with more wider eyes, and probably has less densely and not as long hair rooting. The difference between the generations is also a hint towards what type of like body you can get. You can see that this body is a bit loose. It's one of the earlier Xian Xian Princess bodies, but over time the body's got a bit more higher in terms of quality. And yeah, that's another hint when you purchase these dolls and the type of generation that you can get. The first generation, first wave, and second generation. Now we can move on to the first set of Kelly dolls that we got, the first generation, who have the descriptor of being elegant and sweet. Whenever I hear the name Kelly, I always have to think of the Then She song. The second generation of Kelly dolls have the descriptor of being elegant and noble. And the third generation of Kelly dolls, who are very similar looking to the second gen in terms of the face up, though there are slight differences in terms of the eye colors used, as well as the lipstick color, I think. And the biggest difference is the hairstyle. Now, this set of Kelly dolls has the descriptor of being beautiful, elegance, and youthful sunshine. Now, with a total of 6 dolls across 3 generations, Kelly is, along with Gala, you can see in the back there, she's probably the most ubiquitous Xian Xian Princess doll that you can come across. I've never been that big of a fan of the first generation of Kelly dolls, truth be told. I thought their skin tone looked really off. It had this yellow undertone. The face-up was also, for the most part, wonky looking. She also had that like very stark red lipstick that I didn't think would suit her. Now this second generation iteration of Kelly, she's much cuter. I think her softer makeup suits her. She also has a more pinky undertone in her skin tone. And I just dressed her in this, I don't know, is this actually a legitimate Barbie outfit? I just got it from AliExpress, but I thought it would be cute on her anyway. Yeah, and to talk about quality control issues again, her hairline here was a bit rough. Like they sort of had the marking of where they were supposed to root the hair, but they just started rooting it in this portion a bit further in the back. So there was sort of like a empty spot between the marking where they should have started rooting the hair. That's why I gave her these side bangs, but she ended up looking really cute. I didn't do much with the hair. Again, I just twirled it around my fingers and then I just put it in a hairnet. And I just gave her these earrings because I thought that the color scheme of the turquoise would complement her eyes. So yeah, she's super pretty. I don't think I would purchase any of the other 5 Kellys that are out there, but I'm quite happy to have a representation of her here. It's part of my Xian Xian Princess collection. Now, she's the one who a lot of people compare to the Barbie Mackie face sculpt. I have an original Mackie from the 90s, so this is also the original head size and not the bloated Mackie head from the 2000s. This is also the collector Mackie and not the playline Mackie. And like, looking at them side by side, I don't think there's that much of a difference in terms of like the look, but upon further inspection you can see there is quite a difference. I mean, especially if you look at the nose shape and also sort of like the angles of the face. She's got like her face is more angular and even a bit smaller, I guess, while hers is quite round, and her nose is also bigger. Her nose is a bit more petite. So while I can see why people would compare these two to one another, and why I won't deny that there is probably some inspiration that was taken from the original Mackie dolls, I think Kelly looks different enough to stand on her own. Now we have the first generation of Rose dolls, who have the descriptor of being an occult sensation. Now this one is FR09 and this is FR10. With Rose, at first I didn't want to get her because I thought her features were very harsh looking. But a lot of times with these dolls you have to like just trust the process, get them, spend time with them, restyle them, and then they end up becoming favorites. She's wearing a pair of Mangf shoes. These are very, very nice shoes. Very high quality, very hard, solid plastic, and they fit them perfectly. And I just dressed her up in some random bits and pieces. I think the top is actually from Dream Bestie's Teresa. And I love the description of being an occult sensation. Therefore I added those snake charm earrings to complement her look. I think what I like about these dolls is that they end up being much prettier than they're being advertised. She's in a dress that I just cobbled together, and there are some spots from where I was like drawing the silhouette onto the fabric before sewing it. She's also very cute. I think a lot of times with these dolls you have to like just zhuzh their hair into place to frame the face in a way to soften the features, and that is what makes them pretty. You can see that she has a different color scheme in her face, and she has a softer, more pastel makeup, whereas she has gold eyeshadow and a stark red lipstick. I think after buying Coco, I bought these two. So I really, like, after restyling these two, I think that was the point where I was like, okay, I like these dolls and I'm going to invest more in them because I like to spend time with them, and I think they're pretty good in terms of what you can get for the pricing. She's wearing a pair of color reveal Barbie shoes that are squishy, and they were loose on the Barbie anyhow, so they fit her big feet better. Now when it comes to the differences between the faces in terms of having like the different characters and face molds assigned, a lot of times I'm not really 100% sure how to discern what features make for them having a totally different a face sculpt name, or if it's just the face up and the screening and the makeup that is the differentiating factor that gives them a different name. But I just trust the company, and sometimes the company makes mistakes in terms of advertising them online in their listings, but I try to just give you the information that is presented to me. Then we have the first set of Nana dolls, who have the descriptor of being elegance. Now they're using a 3rd generation upgrade in terms of the bodies, because bodies of time got a bit more sturdy and less flimsy. So this is my Nana doll. She's FR12. But this is what I mean when I say that the differences between the faces are so minuscule that I don't really know why they're differentiating them this much. Like you can see, this is Coco, this is Nana, and the facial features, even the screening, is very similar looking, but I just trust the makers of these dolls to know that what the differences are that would warrant a differentiation between these dolls. I only got this one Nana doll, and she's wearing a pair of Dreamies shoes, so another brand that would fit their feet. And while I do like her and think she's pretty, she's one who I just styled and just plopped onto my shelf, and she's always in the back row of my shelves. Even though I like her, she's among my least liked Xian Xian princess dolls, probably because the lack of differentiation between other dolls and the fact that she looks very washed out a little in terms of a pale white skin tone with her hair. Maybe I should just dress her differently. Maybe this outfit doesn't help, but I thought this outfit was cute, and I loved the butterfly choker and the jewelry, so just kept her in this. Now we have the Lily doll, who has the descriptor of being a fashion self, whatever that means. I love these descriptors. They're sometimes quite hilarious, but other times I also think that they nail the aura of these dolls. So this is the one who started it all. She was the very first Xian Xian Princess Supermodel doll that I ever purchased, and she's still one of my favorites. She's also one of the good examples of the difference in variants that you can get. Like this one that I have has, you can see, blue eyes, and I really like her screening. Like, she's super pretty. There's a variant out there with, I think, green eyes. It looks very different, and while I think she looks intriguing, I prefer this screening, so I'm glad that the doll that I got is the one with this type of screening. Her hair quality is okay, but of all of the dolls that I have, the hair quality of this one is the least high, I suppose. Now, the inspiration for dressing her up in this fashion pack, full disclosure, came from Elastic Planet 21, who did the same with his Lily in one of his videos, and I thought it complements her blue eyes so well, and I just kept her in this very cheap AliExpress fashion pack. But you can see that these supermodel dolls and their measurements and their look can transform any cheap fashion pack into looking like high fashion. Now, while there are variants of this doll, in terms of official generations, there's just this one Lily advertised. There's another doll later on where Xian Xian sort of lumps her into the same category as Lily, but they also lump her into a category with the Rose dolls that I had just shown you previously. That one is FR32. FR32 is either the second generation of Lily here, FR13, or the second generation of Rose. I personally lump her into being the second generation of Rose dolls because that's what she's mostly advertised as, and even though the screening that they used on that doll is a similar type of screen that they used on this Lily doll, and as long as I don't own that one, I can't really discern the differences between these two. But maybe somebody has her and is able to elaborate on that in the comment section down below. That's what this video is for. Then we have the first set of Tina dolls, who have the descriptor of being noble and elegant. Now, the second generation of Tina dolls is being labeled as being elegant and exquisite. So these are this first generation of Tina, FR14, FR15. She's the second generation of Tina. FR19. Now, at first I did not expect to like her. I don't even know why I purchased these three. And I believe they were super cheap at one point. Like maybe I paid only $8 per doll. Or I had only paid $8 for these two. I did want her because of her hair color. Because it's very fantasy hair color and gem in the holograms. But I did not really vibe with Tina, the face, because it's got very stark features. Very harsh features, you might say. A lot of people compare to Glenn Close and Fatal Attraction. But I kind of dig her. And I dig her especially. Now her hair is a mess because she toppled over down onto the floor from my shelf a bunch of times. And her hair out of the box is an even bigger mess, I guess. But yeah, this one is again another one where I just brushed out the hair strands and I just twirled them around my finger, and I ended up just leaving it in a hairnet for a week. And that's why you can see these corkscrew curls that she has now. I just dressed her up in a fashion pack that cost $1. I just switched out the color of this belt. I think it originally came with a white ribbon. I gave her these cheapo pumps that fit them well. Gave her some random jewelry accessories. And you can see, like, when you frame her face that way, it just softens her features all in all and makes her look very cute in my opinion. But yeah, I think she has very, very harsh features all in all, which is why I also dressed her like this, to be a bit more domineering. She has these Model Muse pumps, so yeah, another shoe mold that fits them is Model Muse shoes. This is another fashion pack that was really cheap, as was this. Like at one point I saw these fashions like for $1 each, and I thought, okay, I'll just put them in my cart. Why not? They might come in handy eventually. But there is a certain difference in terms of the face-up of the first gen and second gen of Tina dolls that you can see illustrated here. In terms of the colors used, the eye color, the makeup color, as well as the lip color, and even the skin tone, like she's much paler. These two have a bit more of a like human, whereas she super pale. They just have a more standard. Now we have the first, and also sadly the only generation of Miya dolls, who is being described as being the Black Pearl. So now we have FR16, FR17 and FR18. Miya or Miya. I like to call them Miya. These are like my Nubian goddesses. I love them a lot. And I believe they were like made in collaboration, or at least in supervision, with Elastic Planet 21 on Picture Love Barbie. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were sort of involved in the creation of these, and I really love them. I mean, these are the prime examples of what I mean, that you have to get these dolls and then just play around with them to fully appreciate them. She also has a pair of mango shoes here that I think are very pretty. And she's also on the Ballet Wishes Barbie doll stand. And when you see the promo pictures, you're like, what is going on there? But then you just get them, you have to just like fluff around the hair and dress them up. And then you can truly appreciate the beauty of these dolls. And these are literally supermodels in my opinion. Like, these are just so beautiful. Now with that in mind, I do have some complaints in terms of quality control again. Because I think you can see there's like an error in the way her lips are painted. And there's also an error here in the way the hair is rooted. I tried to give her this headband to like brush it from the back of the head, but
there's a strand of hair that was like rooted wrongly. And you can also see that the plug is much bigger than the other plugs. So that was a bit annoying, to be quite honest. She's also wearing an original Xian Xian princess dress. I don't know why she ended up looking like Baby Spice here, but I guess she is giving black Baby Spice. But I'm not mad at it. She's very pretty. And she's also an example of a doll that is now popping up with a different screening variant. I saw it on the Instagram account DJ Darling. And now I noticed that also her eyebrow here is a bit chipped. Again, quality control on these dolls is something that is not perfect. There is room for improvement. You just saw that I put her on a Barbie signature stand that it's a saddle stand that just weirdly enough fit her, but most of the traditional 1/6 scale doll stands won't fit them because they're taller, so you have to get special stands. You can either get the official Xian Xian Princess acrylic doll stands that I have. I also use the doll stands manufactured by Dolls Made Me Do It. These are the Stand Tall doll stands. They fit them as well. But those cheapo Amazon stands, Fashion Fever knockoff stands that you find in bundles, they don't fit because they're not meant for dolls in this scale and height. I think they're sort of like somewhere between 12 and 13 inches tall, and a normal Barbie is just 11.5 inches tall. You can sometimes, like if you have the legs exposed, you can sometimes use those stands and just grip them around the knees, but yeah, that's what led to my one Tina doll with the pink hair to topple over multiple times.
Then we have the first generation of Gala dolls, who has the descriptor of having a powerful aura and a sense of power. The second generation of Gala dolls, and depending on whether you get the Caucasian, very pale, white-skinned version, she's either cold and domineering, or if you get the AA versions, she's fashionable and individualistic. But both sets of dolls are the second generation of Gala.
So these are my final 4 Xian Xian Princess dolls as part of my collection, and they're all part of the first initial generation of Gala that was released. This one is FR24, this one is FR40. For whatever reason they just jumped back and forth. This one is FR28, this one is FR29. There's also FR20. In terms of numbering, it's quite low, because I feel like Gala was conceived after that cataloging of FR20, and FR20 is more close to FR19, 18, 17, 16, and 16, 17, and 18 was Miya. And there were initial pictures of a flocked-headed Miya doll that never materialized. The flocked-headed doll that we got ended up being one with a Gala face, so I believe that's why they put that first wave Gala with a catalog number of FR20. And you can even see that they photoshopped in the face of that doll into the box, while other promo shots of the dolls that we get always have a box picture, which is just normal and natural, but that one was just photoshopped in, maybe because we got a picture of a doll with the flocked head that had the Miya face. But numbering aside, let's talk about these dolls, because I think Gala is the doll with the most releases, and she's also, I think, the doll that ended up making a lot of waves among IT collectors as well, because she has a face that is very similar looking to a couple of Integrity Toys dolls and Integrity Toys characters, I think. So therefore she might have appealed to those as well, and I really like her. I personally, of the two, white or Latina Galas that I have. I prefer her because I like her side part. It just frames her face more beautifully than the mid part that the burgundy haired one has, but she's also very pretty. Now she also has a different lipstick color. I think that I would like her lipstick color better than the red lipstick of the other one. But yeah, I think the way that I styled her made me appreciate her too. I think all of the dots are just pretty. Just added this set of earrings. And this is also a dress that I hand sewed myself. And I thought it would be very pretty on her. These are again Model Muse shoes, I guess. And here you can see what I mean, that you can do this if you have these, but for the most part they just fling around and topple over because those stands are way too flimsy and light for these heavy dots. So I'll just set her aside for now and talk about the other ones as well. Now let's give her some room. I really love this on her. It's very couture looking. I can see this walk down a runway, and this is just a skirt of a random Barbie Dreamtopia doll that I ended up transforming into a dress, and it looks a lot like a vintage Barbie dress that we got decades ago. Really love her makeup, really love her soft features. I think for now I'm good in terms of Gala. I might get the Gala doll from the second generation that has the poofy afro hair. Really like that one. I don't know, is it? Again, you can see quality control. There's some sort of thing here on her eyebrow that I did not notice because up until I restyling her, the hair was framing that part of her face where you could not see it. But yeah, there's a spot of pink paint on her eyebrow. But she's cute anyhow. She's dressed in this Fashionistas era Barbie dress. And I styled her hair in a very 80s Pat Benatar music video type of way. And before I head on over to the outro, I should quickly also mention the final Xian Xian Princess doll that was released as of making this video. That one is FR41. Was also sort of part of the first initial wave of Gala dolls. She just comes with a different hairstyle, and I'm not a fan of her. I think she looks just ludicrous. She looks really ridiculous with that hairstyle. Looks like a bad wig that was plopped onto a white woman's head. So that one is definitely sort of like an awful way to end this, but she's part of this, so I had to mention her.
So there you have it, folks. These are all of the Xian Xian Princess dolls that I have in my collection, and this is an overview of all of the dolls that they've released up until this point. Really depends on the doll that you end up getting when you order them. There are a lot of quality control issues that might color the experience that you have in a way that might make you disappointed or might make you really elated and really excited for this brand. I'm not here to claim that this brand is totally faultless. Not at all, but I also want to just combat the negative stereotype that comes from a place of Western superiority. A lot of people are sort of very snotty and snobby and are like, oh my god, these are just bootleg and copycat dolls, but I feel like denouncing the legitness of these dolls is just something that a lot of people do because they're like, oh my god, these dolls are made in China. Every single doll that you buy from name brands are made in China. So there's no real reason to be that snotty. Just because a couple of designers in Los Angeles design wants to hire Barbie doesn't make those dolls better than these dolls. I think that's just a place of Western superiority that is very ignorant. And therefore, that's why I'm simping for this brand, and I'm really not only am I simping from this brand from this political point of view? I just enjoy these dots because these dots are appealing to my taste, and my taste just loves these beautiful supermodel-esque dots, which is pretty and can model clothes well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a dislike if you thought this video was trash, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. So, bye for now.